everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is the final video of my Preptober series, and today I want to talk about my preparations, what I've been doing to get ready for Nano, and my story idea. This is a long one, so grab a drink. I've got my coffee here, my wonderful, wonderful coffee, and settle in. So let's get started. First thing I want to talk about, just because it's the first thing I started with in the beginning of this series, was story ideas, because you can't really do Nano without the story idea, right? You gotta have that, at least a little seed of something to work with. For Nano this year, I am working on Gone to Kill, which is the second book of my American Blood series. The series is an urban fantasy set in Seattle in the near future, in like 2060 some. And it's fun. I really enjoy it. I first got the idea for Jack and the characters, again, back in, was it 2012? Yes, it was 2012. It's about Jack, who is a human servant to Seattle's top vampire, Reese, and he's left trying to run things in his master's absence, and that's how the book starts out. Of course, things don't go well, and he ends up being accused for murder, and so he ends up solving the case pretty much to prove his innocence. So my book has multiple point of views. It has two point of views that I follow. I follow Jack, and then I also follow Corey, who is a human FBI agent. Corey's the main character as well, and her storyline kind of picks up where things left off in the first book. I don't want to get into it too much because of spoilers, because yeah, you kind of really need to read the first book. I wrote that first book for Nano last year, and I have not edited it yet. I am looking to finish edits on Frostbite, and then I'll work on One Way Out. But I did want to go ahead and get the rough draft of the second book done. One, I like driving myself crazy and working on multiple projects at once. And two, I want to have a clear idea of where the story is going, because there's so much at play, that having a rough draft of the second book done and knowing where I need to end up before I go back and edit that first book, I feel will be very handy to have. So that's my project, and it's the story, the series, these characters are very much near and dear to my heart. And so I've been working on it, and I am just super excited to dive in and finally start working on this book. So I've got my story idea, and I have put together, since I know, just glancing at the calendar and everything that's going on, I know I'm going to be writing on the go a lot. I am, if I get to write each day, I will be very happy. And if I can write in my office at least once each day, that would be amazing. I don't think that's going to happen. Instead of using Scrivener this year, I am going to use Google Docs, so I can access it from my phone or my Chromebook. If I don't have internet available, I can hotspot my phone to at least get my document open on my Chromebook and then work on it and save it via my hotspot. But that makes it a little difficult for all my notes and scene cards and stuff like that. So I have created a binder, and I printed out the picture of my cover, which was done by, ooh, I can't remember her name. It's Marissa, and at Cover Me Darling. I think it's Cover Me Darling. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. I'll put a link in the description below, but she has amazing work. She does like pre-made covers. She also does design work and branding. It's amazing. I love her, and she's done all my covers for this series so far. Very easy to work with. This binder I found on clearance at Office Depot, and I loved the fact that it was sparkly and very extra and matched my cover, so that's what I went with. I thought I would go ahead and do a binder flip through, and we're gonna go do that now.
All right, I'm doing this at night, so hopefully you can't hear all the TVs going. This is going to be kind of fun. Yeah, so this is my Nano 2019 binder. Now, I chose to go with the binder because I am writing on the go a lot this year. So I wanted to have something portable that I didn't need to necessarily have access to Wi-Fi if I didn't have it. It also kind of helps save time and space. I can easily set my laptop on top of this and then open it up as I need to for information and whatnot. So here we go. Like I've mentioned before, I am writing Gone to Kill, and it is the second book of my American Blood series. Now the series isn't out yet. I am still working on edits on the prequel, and as soon as I'm done with the prequel and get it off to betas, I will be starting edits on book 1, which was One Way Out, and it was my Nano novel last year. Here we go. So inside, hopefully this isn't too bright with my light here, with my ring light, but inside it's pretty thick. I kind of wish they had come in a bigger ring. I think this was like a 1-inch ring maybe, but let's see. I've got it pretty packed. Woo! I've got it pretty packed here. There is a lot of filler paper in it at the moment, but hopefully I can maybe pull some of that out once I am done with my outlining. So I've got a couple pockets here. It came with one pocket, and then I added a library pocket here. And in here I have my bookmark. So my region's pretty awesome, and they give us a bunch of freebies stuff. And I actually attended my kickoff party recently, so I was able to pick up our calendar, and it has like our daily word counts, a lot of our big events on it. Let's see, let me pull it out. And then I actually went in and wrote in my goal word counts for each day, because I do want to try and finish a little early. I'd really like to finish by the 23rd, but looking at the word counts, my ideal word counts for each day, it looks like my realistic expectation is actually finishing on Thanksgiving this year, but I don't know if it's really gonna work. But we have our weekly write-ins and our big events, which we have quite a bit of, and then we have our list of Day of Writing Everywhere, which is a all-day writing event. It goes from 8 in the morning all the way to midnight. It's really fun. It's a great day to boost your word count. I will say it is very exhausting. And a lot of times by the time we get to the midnight write-in, everybody is just done and loopy. And so, but it's a lot of fun. And I will say that another thing I really like about my region is no matter what day of the week it is, we have at least one write-in every day. Even on Thanksgiving, we're just awesome like that. I have very awesome MLs here, and it's great, really great region to be in. So that being said, so they gave us a calendar. They give us a bookmark, again, with the daily word counts, and then a space to write our own word counts in. They do something in my region called library cards, where you get stickers for doing stuff, and you can write your name. I have mine washied out, because I put my full name up there instead of my pin name or my, whatever, my Satula name. I put my year on here because I found a couple of my library cards from previous years, and I didn't put anything on there. So I kind of wanted to keep my year on there this year. And I've already gotten a few stickers. The reason we collect stickers is to kind of, as an incentive for writing and attending events. So you get a sticker for attending a write-in. You get a sticker for making a purchase at a write-in to help support our write-in locations. You also get a sticker for making a donation to HQ Nano or a donation to our region to help fund our events. It's a bunch of cool things. You can collect these stickers. There's some people by the end of Nano, they've gone to so many events, they've got 2 or 3 library cards all filled with stickers. And we can trade our library cards and the stickers for extra raffle tickets towards our prizes that they raffle off in the region. So it becomes a fun incentive to participate in the region, really. And so there's that. And so I have a little clear pouch here on top of my pouch to hold those. And you don't want to forget your library card, because if you don't have it, you can't get your stickers. So it's you don't want to lose that. I know a lot of people keep them in their wallets or in their notebooks, whatnot. So on to the meat of my binder. I have the American, again, I just kind of decorated this this page. It's the back of my tracker. But so I just decorated it with some washi that I had. Gone to Kill, American Blood series. It is a vampire series. It's a little bit of a mystery-ish, kinda, but it's more so labeled as urban fantasy. I just kind of went with skulls and gold again to match the theme of the cover. And then I just wrote in kind of a bit of a mess, but that's just me kind of going with it. So, my NaNoWriMo word count tracker. This is actually from Heart Breathings, and I've gone in and written my series title up here. I went in also and added like week 2, week 3, week 4, just to as a kind of like mild markers. This is where I want to be by the end of this week. So week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. Although that seems kind of off a little bit, but oh well. So I haven't decided if I want to color in these blocks or put stickers on them. We'll see. I'll also write in all this right here. But again, I got this from Sarah Cannon, Heart Breathings blog. I will link the channel down below. And there's that. So next I have these dividers in here. I've got lots of dividers, but these first 5, I have my 3 acts, internal, scenes, characters, and notes. So the 3 acts I have here, I have all, let's see, I have my prequel, my first book, and my second book. And these are all done. Just kind of my overview of my 3 act structures. And I have space here for the 3rd one. It kind of got cut off. But I haven't plotted the 3 act for that one yet. I just have a general idea and summary of what I want to happen in that book. I haven't gone that far yet. But these are great so I can refer back to, okay, did this actually happen in book 1? Do I need to write it into book 2? Or do I need to make a note to go back and add it to book 1? Kind of like that. And so this has been handy to have my 3 act for book 2. And you read it like this, act 1, act 2, act 3. And then I actually go in and add sequences to mine. I think that was from the Alexandria Sokoloff screenwriting tips for authors, possibly. But yeah, I'll link that book down below again. But she separates them just so you have each block to work with. Next, under internal, I have, again, Gone to Kill. And then these are like, I typed up the outline kind of from, I think this was from Take Your Pants Off. And it's Libby something is the author of that one. But she suggests starting with your main character and doing like their core and figuring out their flaw, who their ally is, what the theme of their storyline is. And so I did that for both of my main characters because I'm writing dual point of views. So I've got Jack and I've got Corey. I haven't decided if this is more a Jack story or more of a Corey story. I think it might be more of a Corey story, whereas the first book was definitely more centered on Jack, so it kind of balances out like that. But basically I just went through and filled that out, and from these, I have started working on my scenes, which is not here because my scenes are all under these colored tabs at the moment. And again, I don't have anything under characters yet. I was just going to keep notes. I do have a series Bible in Google Sheets for this series, and it is pretty much my lifeline for this, because there's so many characters, there's so many side characters I need to know when they die and all that, and all these fun little details. So if you're interested in seeing a video about how I've organized my series Bible, let me know again in the comments below, and I will try to add that to my list of videos to upload. The last one was notes, and I've already got a few sheets here. I was trying to kind of figure out a few things. There's a couple of characters in here that I needed to know a little bit more about. I also needed to know a few other things about my vampire world that I was trying to figure out, and I actually ended up writing that in the car on the way home from a road trip. the color tabs. So I was trying to figure out a way to do this easily, and I ended up doing the color tabs, and I bought the first set, and they go to 31. I was like, oh yeah, 31 would be plenty. I'll just have 31 chapters and that's it. And normally 31 chapters is kind of average for me, I guess. I don't know. My contemporary fantasies on Wattpad only go up to like 11 chapters. Legacy only goes up to 11 chapters. Will of the Witch, I don't think is going to go much further than that. But I ended up starting to outline my scenes. And what I did, and I'll just show you this first one, is I wrote my rough draft word count. So after I draft the scene, I will fill that in. What chapter the scene is in, and give my scene. Once I'm done writing out all my scenes, I finalize the order that they're all going to go in. I give the scene a like ID. Usually it's a number like 1, 2, 3. And so that way, when I'm in my Google document, each scene has that ID as a heading that I can easily put into the outline to find again. And so that way I can easily move scenes or add scenes in. And when I add scenes in, it becomes like 1.A or 1.B to just kind of show where they're going. It's just, it's not something you have to do. It's totally just something my little neurotic brain has come up with, and I am kind of in love with. So anyway, so each scene gets one sheet of paper. I've written a summary of what I want to happen in this scene. So Corey goes on run to de-stress and relax. She's stressful over work, the move, crossed the country, supernatural shit that's going on around her because she's not used to it. She sees Romeo, which is a character from the previous book, and the run that gives the run the opposite effect that she was hoping for. And so that was just my opening scene. I have, since it's a Corey scene and I have multiple point of views, I have K for Corey and her color is gold, and I have J for Jack and his color is usually blue no matter what work we're in. And so yeah, and so I've got the scene, and you can see that some scenes I have more description in and whatnot. And then the rest of the space, both front and back, is all for notes. So if I have any questions that come up while I'm writing, I've already had to make notes on a couple of these scenes just for contingencies and coming up. Like I had a vampire in one scene, and then I realized about 5 scenes later that scene had to happen in the daylight, which is a no-no for my vampires in this world. So that I had to go back and make notes. Like, no, he can't be in this scene. You got to find something else for him to do. So that's how I have all my scenes. And so each of these tabs, 2, 3, 4, each of these is a chapter. Basically, these are the scenes I want to happen in each chapter. So going like this, I can easily move scenes around right now, especially as I'm still outlining. I've only made it up to, I think, middle of chapter 7. Yeah, I've only got one scene in chapter 7. I'm a little behind. And so when I realized that I was going to go past 31, because I think I got to chapter 7 and I was still in the middle of Act 1. I think I just crossed into Act 2. I was like, that's not going to be enough. So I went and bought another set, and I didn't see any better solutions that were already numbered. So what I ended up doing was I bought another set of 31, just like this, and then I flipped them and used a Sharpie to write in the rest, 33 to 62. And so you can see on the back they still have all the numbers. Here they are in order now. And my hope is that once I'm done with this, once I have a draft that I can print out and edit, I will take all these out and take these scene outlines out and put the draft in here to work on. And then I can repurpose these tabs into my next book outline. This is just kind of like my outline structure to try and remind myself to start broad, filter down, the way I usually draft is in layers. So I usually go through one scene and I will get just the basics down. He did this, she did that, whatnot. And then I slowly build off of that, giving the scene structure, and then adding in setting details, adding in the feels, because I'm horrible with writing emotions and whatnot. I usually use the Emotion Thesaurus or the One Stop for writers. Again, I will link those down below. And then also internal dialogue, because I will sometimes forget to kind of keep that going in a chapter. And so that's all there is right now. I have some extra paper in there somewhere. And yeah, so that's my binder. So I'm really excited about how this came out. I'm in love with it, really. I love it. So between this and having my Chromebook, I think I am ready, just about ready for Nano, if I can just finish the actual outline.
So that was my binder flip through. Now that I have my story idea, and this guy is gonna park right next to me. How awesome. And yeah, all right. And that being said, it's like I can use my MacBook, and I still do. I use it to, I think the problem, this guy is weird. He's going out. He's got a golf club. Are you flipping kidding me? You can totally see him back there, can't you? Yep. Yes, this is awesome. All right, we're gonna try this again. Hopefully with one less golf swing in the background. Sorry about that. So I talked about my story idea, and I've talked about the binder. And the whole reason I wanted my binder was because I'm going to be on the move a lot in November. Looking at my calendar, I have not only a bunch of commitments for my kids, I have a couple of concerts I'm going to with my husband. We are traveling to Florida for Thanksgiving for a week. There's a lot going on, and I do not want to be tied down to one location. I'm so sorry about the cars behind me. I had to move my car. The unfortunate hazards of filming in my car, but yeah, not gonna do that. Anyway, writing tools. Let's talk about my MacBook for a minute. I love my MacBook. I love the keyboard on my MacBook because it's just me. It's like typing on a cloud. I really liked it. I love my MacBook. I love typing on it. It's amazing. I don't even mind so much about the weight, but I'm having an issue with my storage. The MacBook, I've had it for about 2 years now. I'm coming right up onto 2 years. I got it for Christmas in 2017. And the storage issue has become a big problem. I have a hard drive, external hard drive, that I have moved every possible file off of the MacBook to the storage drive, the hard drive, external hard drive that I possibly, leaving only basically the programs that were installed. I've uninstalled all the unnecessary programs I don't need. I have to keep Scrivener on there, and I have to keep Vellum on there because they are my only Mac. They are my only Mac only programs, and this MacBook is the only Mac I have at the moment. And so if you don't know, Scrivener is a great program for organizing and drafting, editing your work for writers, screenwriters, blog posts. I've even created a Scrivener file for like recipes, to organize recipes. So it's a great program, very versatile. The other program I mentioned was Vellum, and it is a formatting program for ebooks and print books, but again, it is Mac only. It's very simple, very easy to use, and I love it, and I'm only just getting started with it, but I can tell it's going to be a great investment. Anyway, but because I'm using my Mac for editing my vlog videos here, I am constantly running out of space on it, and it is driving me insane. I cannot figure out how it is taking up so much space, or if it's just gotten to the point where it's older, the system requirements are too much, and so I don't know. I don't know. It's something I'm still trying to figure out and problem solve. I'm also trying to save up. I'd like to get a new Mac Mini to use as a desktop at home. My MacBook, I feel, is kind of, even though I can get it to work and I can manage its issues, I have to carry around the external hard drive to access my files, which I am frankly terrified of. I mean, I have a protective case for my external hard drive, but I am such a klutz. I am always on the go. I don't want to risk dropping it or hitting it or spilling something on the hard drive and losing it. Having it safe at home on my desk, I feel much better about. And then I'm kind of SOL because then I have to, I don't know. It's a big mess, and it's been a high point of frustration lately. As I mentioned in one of my previous videos, that I was borrowing my husband's Chromebook. And I've heard a lot about Chromebooks. I know Sarah Cannon uses a Chromebook. I know a couple other friends who use Chromebooks, and they work great. And I thought, well, considering that I really just want this to write on and get me through Nano, I thought a Chromebook would be handy because I am mostly working all in Google Docs now. I borrowed my husband's Chromebook. I really loved the idea of it. It was the perfect size, it was fast, it had everything I needed, except the keyboard. I couldn't get over the keyboard. So the big problem with that is this is a Chromebook that my husband purchased in Japan, and so it had a Japanese keyboard. It had all the regular alphabet keys, and it was in the normal QWERTY, however you say it, lineup. So all the letters were in the right place, but the extra characters and symbols were not. That was a problem. If it was just like a couple of things like an exclamation point or the @ sign, which those were both, I think the @ sign had its own key, but there were two that I use really often in writing fiction. You've got your quotation marks and your apostrophe, which I use almost religiously. You should, right? Pretty often, and they were in completely different spots, and it was very hard to get used to. And I was like, well, maybe it'll just take me a while to get used to it. And so I used the Chromebook off and on for about 3 weeks, and I couldn't get over it. It was a constant issue. It was to the point where I loved using the Chromebook. I was like, yeah, I'm going to take the Chromebook and I'm going to get some work done. And then I'd start typing, and I'd be constantly trying to fix my, it was a mess. So last week I finally bit the bullet, and I went to Best Buy and I invested in my own Chromebook with a standard keyboard. So here you go. I just got a Dell, I think this is a Inspiron. It was cheap. I only spent $150 on it. So it doesn't have the greatest specs. It's not as fast as the Chromebook I was using. That was my husband's Chromebook, but it's already working quite well. The keyboard is odd though. It was, I don't know, it's pretty heavy. It's got some weight to it. And the keyboard, when I'm typing on it, it almost feels like a mechanical keyboard. It's got that kind of feedback on it, which I like. I do have a mechanical keyboard for my desk at home, and I love it. So I do really like that. I do not like the trackpad on it, but I think I'm probably going to end up getting a little like Bluetooth mouse for it or something. Or maybe just stealing my Magic Mouse from my MacBook at home. So with the Chromebook, I love it. I'm going to be able to grab and go. So if I just have my binder and my Chromebook, I can write anywhere, which is great. It's small enough and portable enough that I can probably write in the car, and the battery life on it is like godsend. So I think it's got, at the moment, especially since it's brand new, it's got like a 12-hour battery life, which is amazing. So hopefully I will be able to get some writing done in the car on the way down to Florida as well. Writing times. Now that I've got all my tools in place, I know my story idea. I've even picked out a few of my favorite pens and made sure I have refills for them. I am now up to writing times. Now, a key time that I'm going to be writing is after I drop the kids off at school. I have a solid 9 to about 11:30 every day, every weekday that the kids are in school. So that's going to be my big writing time. I know there's a few write-ins I'm going to be going to. I'm going to be hosting a write-in on Mondays at my Starbucks, and I will have maybe a couple of evenings as well that I might be able to do. There are a couple of NaNo events that I'm going to this November. Is pretty intense, and so I'm just trying to, again, organize myself and figure out ahead of time when my opportune writing times are going to be, and when I know I'm going to need to back off a little, and then try to get a few more words in before I know I have to back off on my writing time. The only other thing I'm going to try and do is get up earlier. I tried that this morning and it didn't work. Not because I didn't get up on time, but because my son was already up by the time I got up, when I got up early. So anyway, I'm trying to get up about 6 in the morning every day and try to get in at least one 15-20 minute sprint before I have to start getting ready for the day and getting out the door with kids. So that way, when I do that and I start my day off with a sprint, one, writing that early when I'm just waking up, you're kind of like tricking your brain into saying, oh, you're still dreaming, but let's dream about the book first and not like whatever we were just dreaming about 10 minutes ago in the bed. You have less of a editor filter. One of the things people say is, for NaNo, you want to lock your editor away. You don't want to use your editor, and that's really hard to do. But first thing in the morning, it's not as hard because you're still kind of asleep and you're just like, I just have to get through this sprint, so I'm just going to write. Sometimes those words aren't great. Sometimes they're brilliant and you don't have to mess with them before you publish. But that's just kind of one of those things. Again, you have to try it, see if it works for you. But also, when I get up and do at least one sprint and start thinking about my story that early, it becomes a earworm. Or, it's on your mind. So then when I'm driving the kids to school, I'm thinking about my story. And then I can't wait. It's like, by the time I have sat down again to write, I have so much more to write because I kept thinking about what's next in my story. And so by doing that, by starting early, it kind of keeps me focused on my story throughout the day. And so then whenever I do get a chance to sit down, because I'm so busy, I already know what next I want to write. So that's very helpful that way. Okay, so writing times. Like I said, the big thing I wanted to do is get up early and get at least one sprint in at my desk in my office every day. So I thought I would do a quick little office tour. We'll cut away to that and you can kind of see what my office is looking at like now.
Hey everyone, welcome to my office tour. But yeah, part of my NaNo Prep was to organize and clean my office, and I still have a ways to go, as you can see from the pile of stuff and all the books that need to be rehomed. I need to find a new home for those, but I thought I'd just walk you through and show you what my office is like. So right here I have my Kanban board. So what I'm currently working on, like doing and done. Now I just have my tasks for October up here, so I've done quite a bit. I still have quite a bit to do, but a lot of my tasks for October are done. And then I have already gone ahead and wrote out my tasks for November. So for like these orange ones here are all my NaNo word count ones. So there's 50 of these. My daily vlogs to move over. But yeah, so yeah, I thought I'd just give you guys a quick tour of my office and how it is now. Kind of like this is up here is kind of like my inspiration board. I have some artwork for my kids, some of my favorite comics, some artwork that my friend Tracy Banghart gave me. And then this one is actually from Paige Wynn. She actually drew that. It was amazing. But like I have concert tickets
This is the Postal Service. Sometimes I'll write out some comments on my work from Wattpad that like make me tear up and cry, just to keep for inspiration. One of my favorite webcomic artists drew this for me. But yeah, just kind of stuff like that. I have an old NaNo calendar up there, which I haven't cleaned off. This board here I used as a 3-act structure when I use like, when I use index cards. Haven't used it in a while. I might pull it out to use this in this coming weeks as I finish up my prep for NaNo, but I'm not sure. It just depends on when I get my work done. So, but yeah, I keep a lot of my, like, my Webster pages over here. Oh, that pink box is all my stickers I need to go through and organize. The white one under it is all my A5 inserts that I've ordered and someone awesome planners gifted me. And then my bookshelves are kind of like overflowing even after I went through. I try to keep just the books that I really like. So like I have my favorite manga series all in Japanese up there. These are all like my Japanese book, manga and books. And some of my favorite little knickknacks and stuff are all up here. All my writing books. Up above is stuff I really need to go through and get rid of. But I have some teacups that were passed down to me from my late grandmother. My Pike Place mug from the original Starbucks in Seattle. I was actually really kind of disappointed because I went there and I got it and it was busy and I stood in line and I got all the way back here home and I opened it up and it was broken. So I can't use it, but I've got it set up nicely up there that I can look at it. So some fun stuff. This Yamano bag up here was actually a gift from an Airbnb host that we stayed in their house in Kyoto, and I haven't found, like, I want to set it up somewhere really nice and I just haven't found where I wanted to put it yet. But I've got all my occult and magic books up here, a lot of my self-help books. I call them self-help, but I mean, it's just, you know, Power of Habit and The Big Magic. Felicia Day's new book, which is really cool. And then all of my notebooks I need to go through and get rid of. So over here I have my Thousands of Candles poster, which I love. It says, thousands of candles can be lit from a single candle, and the life of the candle will not be shortened. Happiness never decreases from being shared. It's a quote from Buddha. And then I have my sorry little collection of plants. I have one on my desk, but I am attempting to keep these alive. Yeah, so this little one here has actually stayed alive for about a year now. And that one a bit longer, but I'm having a little issue with them now, so we'll see. I am not really a green plant person. Yeah, and so I finally hung curtains this weekend with the help of my husband, which is nice, and I kind of feel like I want to put some stuff up there, but I'm not sure. And this right here is like one of my favorite things. I got it in Asheville, and it's just a feather. And there's like a whole story behind it that the artist did, and I can't remember it off the top of my head. So, and then over here, I've got my desk and all the crap under my desk, but I'm just going to give you a quick run through. So I have all my pen washi. It's about half of my pens are over here, but my washi and my running metals and whatnot. This rack is actually a nail rack, like a nail polish, and I actually have like some of my nail polish. Well, this is probably my only nail polish. I'm really bad about doing my nails. And then my inks for fountain pens. And then this is my entire collection of washi.
I don't have much, but I still have a little bit more room. So yeah, but there's that. There's that other plant I've managed to keep alive, although I've only had this one for a couple of months. More stickers, more notebooks. Over here I have just stuff for author events, like my extra business cards and stuff, tablecloth, extra envelopes, crazy stuff. And this is where all my magic happens. So I've got a big monitor that I have hooked up to my laptop, my MacBook Pro at the moment. And then I just, probably like I mentioned earlier in this video or later in this video, I just got the Chromebook. So it's charging so I can take it out later. I have my HB90 planner and my A5 planner. And then I have my daily plans over here, which was just a cheap, let me grab it. Which is just, this was just a cheap, and when I say cheap, it was really cheap because I bought it on clearance at Target. I think I paid maybe $2 or $3 at it. And it just has like a timeline, tasks, and then this grid box. And so I've been using it to track my word sprints. So like I can easily see at a glance when I'm getting most of my work done. It's while both the kids are in school or after. Let's see if I can find a really good day. Here was a really good day. That was a Tuesday. Oh, I had group that night, I think, but yeah, I can kind of see in a glance where my peak times are, which I really like, and that makes it easy to keep it all in one place. So, yeah, and so I've got that. But yeah, that's pretty much it for my office. Over here I've got more pins and stationery items. Those little white boxes down there are all my comics. So, and some of my favorite things. I want to get more artwork, although I'm thinking I'm going to get the new poster from NaNo and hang it up there. Whoa, come on, focus please. You gonna focus? There we go. I lost the focus there. Because it's just a big open spot. And then over here I've got two of my favorite photos. This one is a picture of my wedding day where I'm dancing with my grandfather, my late grandfather, and the little girl, the flower girl, was my cousin Morgan. And then this right here is a hand-drawn, again, from my favorite webcomic artist, and I'll link to her stuff below. But I love her comic transfusions. It's vampires and a whole bunch of fun stuff. So this character right here, Mark, he's like my favorite all time. He's in the comic for like all of 5 seconds, but he's a lot of fun. So I just kind of get him. He's me. So, but that's my office, and like I said, I didn't get to clean it as much as I had wanted to, but my desk is clear and my curtains are hung, so I think it'll be a good it should be a good NaNo.
I want to thank you so much for watching and following along with this Preptober series this year. This has been so much fun filming and vlogging, and I can't believe I stopped for a while because I really did miss it. That being said, I am so looking forward to trying to vlog daily again for NaNoWriMo and do a daily update for November. I have tried to daily vlog in the past. I did it for, I think it was Veda, it was vlog every day of April in 2018. Yeah, I think it was 2018. It was last year. Oh my god. But that didn't really work out so well. As you can see, I kind of fizzled out, and part of the problem was I was also traveling overseas and having a hard time keeping up with the videos and editing. But I feel like I've headed that off this time. I'm going to keep my daily updates short and brief. I'm not going to edit them, so you'll hear a lot more ums, uhs, and oh my, I'll try not to curse. Yeah, it'll just be a whole lot more unedited. It'll just be completely unedited and it'll go straight up to YouTube from my phone. That being said, I am really looking forward to it. If you guys are participating in NaNoWriMo this year, drop a comment below. Let me know your username if you want to connect as a buddy on the NaNoWriMo site. Let me know what your project is and what you're working on. What genre? Is it a sequel? Is it a standalone? Let me know what you're doing. I'd love to hear from you guys. But yeah, otherwise, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I will see you guys in November. Good luck.